Hey, everyone. We're always talking about how much the internet is changing.
Always.
Well, get ready for this deep dive.
Yeah.
Because this one's about something that could totally, reshape the whole digital landscape as we know it.
Yeah.
The potential breakup of Google.
It's big.
It's big.
It's really not hyperbole.
Yeah.
The U.S. government
Oh, yeah.
is making some moves that could radically just change
Radically.
how Google operates.
Yeah.
Specifically going
Going after them.
their huge influence in search and the whole ecosystem of products they've built
Ecosystem.
around it.
Right.
Like Chrome, Android.
Android, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you've probably seen the headlines about the Justice Department going after Google.
Right.
But we're going beyond the surface.
Absolutely.
They're going deep. What's really driving these proposed changes,
Yeah.
what they could mean for Google, and more importantly,
Yeah.
what it could mean for you. As someone who uses the internet every day.
Every day.
So let's start with the foundation of the government's case.
Okay.
They won a lawsuit.
They did.
That concluded that Google has been illegally maintaining a monopoly in online search.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big deal.
Huge.
Huge in the legal world.
Right. Monopoly gets thrown around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But what does it actually mean in this context?
Yeah.
What's the government saying Google did wrong?
So they're alleging that Google used a bunch of tactics to stifle competition
Okay.
and really cement their dominance in search.
Got it.
One of the biggest things is those default search engine deals that Google has.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking billions of dollars.
Billions with a B.
Billions with a B going to companies like Apple, Mozilla,
Wow.
Samsung, all to make sure that when you open a browser or use a phone,
Right.
Google is the automatic search engine.
It's just there.
It's just there.
I'll admit, I don't even think about
Or
what search engine I'm using. Most of the time, it's just there.
Yeah.
Is that really illegal?
Right.
Isn't that just good business?
Well, so that's what Google argues.
Okay.
They're saying
Yeah.
people choose Google because it's the best,
Okay.
but the government is saying, no,
Uh-huh.
these deals go beyond
Yeah.
just offering a good product.
Gotcha.
They're showing evidence that these agreements are structured in a way that
Mm-hmm.
intentionally boxes out
Boxes
the
out.
competitors.
The competition.
Yeah, and it creates a situation
Yeah.
where it's almost impossible
Oh, wow.
for other search engines to gain any traction.
So it's less about Google being good at search.
Right.
It's more about using their power
Yeah.
to prevent anyone else from even having a chance
Exactly.
to compete.
Yeah.
Got it.
And it gets even more complex
Oh, boy.
when you think about how deeply Google has woven its search engine
Yeah.
into other products,
Yeah.
especially Chrome and Android.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Most Android phones come preloaded with Google Apps,
Well,
including search.
Of course.
So it's
yeah.
this whole ecosystem designed to keep you in Google's world.
It's like you get an Android phone and Google is already built into the DNA
Yeah.
of the device.
Yeah.
So is that part of what the government's trying to break up?
Yeah, that brings us to the big bombshell.
Okay.
The government is demanding that Google sell either Chrome or Android.
Wow.
They're saying that these two products, with their massive market share,
Yeah.
are key to maintaining this monopoly.
So that's a huge deal. I mean, I can barely imagine using the internet without Chrome,
Right.
let alone the ripple effects, if Android suddenly looked different.
Yeah.
Can you break down why the government is specifically targeting these two?
So think about it this way.
Okay.
Chrome has a whopping 67%
6-7%.
of the global browser market share,
Wow.
and it's tightly integrated with Google Search.
Yeah.
Android, meanwhile, holds about 71% of the mobile operating system market.
That's huge.
And most Android devices come pre-installed with Google Apps,
Yeah.
making Google Search the default for millions of people right from the start.
Right out of the box.
Right out of the box.
Yeah, so essentially the government is saying that even if Google couldn't pay to be the default,
Right.
they've already got this huge advantage
Yeah.
because of how they've designed these two products.
Exactly. And the government argues
Yeah.
that this situation is ultimately bad for users.
Bad for us.
They claim it stifles innovation,
Okay.
leads to fewer choices,
Fewer choices.
potentially even affecting things like pricing down the line.
Oh, wow. So forcing Google to sell Chrome or Android,
Yeah,
that's a pretty drastic move.
it is.
But it sounds like the government has even more demands
Oh, yeah.
up their
They're
sleeve.
just getting started.
What else are they trying to do
Right?
to change how Google operates?
So you're right. This breakup is just the tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg.
The government is also seeking to ban Google from paying to be the default search engine.
No more of those deals.
No more of those deals.
Wow.
With Apple and others.
Okay.
They also want Google to be required to share search results and data with competitors.
Oh, data sharing.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty big change.
It is, especially with the growing importance of AI.
Yeah.
Data is the fuel that powers AI.
Right.
And the government's proposal would force Google to level the playing field
Oh, wow.
by giving competitors access to the same vast amount of information
Wow.
that Google currently leverages.
Uses to their advantage.
To its advantage,
Yeah.
big time. And it's not just about raw data.
No.
The government wants to prevent Google from prioritizing its own products in the search results.
Oh, like when you search for flights or hotels?
Yeah.
And Google's own travel services are always at the top?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
always just figured those were the best deals.
Right.
So you're saying the government thinks that Google might be rigging the system to favor its own services?
That's exactly what they're alleging.
Even if there are better options out there.
Yeah, they're pushing for measures
Uh-huh.
to ensure a level playing field so users see a truly unbiased range of results,
Unbiased.
not just ones that benefit Google's bottom line.
Okay.
They even want to force Google to divest stakes in AI companies
What?
that could potentially compete with search engines.
So they're thinking long-term
Long-term.
about how AI is going to be a major player in search.
Absolutely.
It's like they're trying to anticipate where the puck is going,
Yeah,
not just where it is now.
exactly. And this gets to the heart of the government's argument.
Okay.
They're trying to prevent Google from using its dominance in traditional search
Right.
to control the future of search,
The future.
particularly as AI becomes more integral to how we find information.
So it's almost like they're saying, okay, Google, you've built this massive empire,
Right.
but we're drawing a line in the sand when it comes to AI.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
They're recognizing that AI has the potential to be even more transformative than the internet itself.
More than the internet.
And they're trying to ensure that this power isn't concentrated in the hands of a single company.
I see. So with all these potential changes on the horizon,
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear Google's side of the story.
Of course.
I imagine they're not just going to sit back and let the government dismantle their business.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, Google is pushing back hard. They're denying any wrongdoing,
Okay.
arguing that users choose their products because they're simply the best.
I can't blame them for putting up a fight.
Right.
What kind of arguments are they making to defend themselves?
Well, they're claiming that the government's proposals are extreme
Okay.
and would ultimately harm users by disrupting the products and services that they rely on.
Yeah.
Kent Walker, Google's president of global affairs,
Okay.
has been particularly vocal.
Mm-hmm.
He called the government's proposal wildly overbroad
Lovely overbroad.
and said it would break a range of Google products that people love and find helpful in their everyday lives.
So it sounds like their strategy is focusing on the potential negative impact on users.
Yeah.
Almost like painting the government as being out of touch
Yeah.
with what people actually want.
Exactly. They're trying to frame this as a case of the government interfering with consumer choice.
Consumer choice.
They're basically saying people are choosing Google because they like our products,
Yeah.
and the government shouldn't be dictating what people can and can't use.
It's a clever strategy.
It is.
I mean, most of us use Google products every single day.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if there's a deeper motive behind their messaging.
There likely is.
What do you think?
So think about it.
Okay.
If Google can convince the public that this case is about taking away popular products,
Yeah.
they can shift the narrative away from the core issues of monopoly, competition, control over the future of search.
It's almost like a PR battle.
Yeah.
Playing it out alongside the legal battle.
Exactly. And it raises some interesting questions about how much influence these tech giants have over public opinion.
Yeah.
And how they use that influence to shape the conversation around regulation.
So this case,
Yeah.
it's about way more
Way more.
than just breaking up a company.
Absolutely.
It's about who has the power to shape the future of the internet
It is.
and how we access information.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
It's about ensuring that the internet remains a truly open and competitive space.
Open and competitive.
Where innovation thrives
Mhm.
and users have genuine choices.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and think about what the internet might look like if the government gets its way.
All right.
What are some potential scenarios if Google's dominance in search is weakened?
Well, one possibility is the emergence of alternative search engines
Okay.
that prioritize different values.
Like what?
For example, you have a search engine like DuckDuckGo,
DuckDuckGo.
which has built its entire brand around privacy. They promise not to track your searches or collect your data.
I've heard of DuckDuckGo, but honestly, I've never really tried it.
Right.
Is it actually any good?
It's a solid search engine.
Okay.
It may not have all the bells and whistles of Google,
Right.
but it delivers relevant results
Yeah.
and has a clean interface.
Okay.
It's a great example of a company challenging the status quo
Challenging the status quo.
and offering an alternative to Google's data-hungry approach.
So maybe a breakup wouldn't be such a bad thing after all.
Right.
It could lead to more innovation and diversity in the search landscape.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah.
We could see a resurgence of specialized search engines.
Oh, like what?
Perhaps ones focused on specific types of information,
Yeah.
like academic research
Okay.
or medical data,
Got it.
or ones tailored to the needs of specific communities or regions.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Imagine a search engine designed specifically for finding independent artists
Yeah.
or local businesses.
Oh.
Awesome.
The possibilities are pretty exciting,
Exciting.
but it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Oh.
There are potential downsides to consider as well.
Like what? What could go wrong?
Well, a more fragmented search ecosystem could be less efficient
Okay.
or more difficult to navigate.
Oh,
You know, we're so accustomed to Google's streamlined experience that it might take some time to adjust to a world where search is more dispersed
dispersed.
across multiple platforms.
So it's like a trade-off.
Exactly.
More choice and innovation,
Yeah,
but potentially at the expense of convenience and familiarity.
precisely.
Yeah.
And it's a trade-off that each user will have to weigh for themselves.
For themselves.
Do you value privacy over convenience?
Right.
Do you prioritize specialized results over a one-size-fits-all approach?
I'm starting to see how this case could really shake things up.
Yeah.
Not just for Google,
Right.
but for all of us who use the internet.
It's a pivotal moment, for
Sure.
sure. And it raises a question that I think is worth pondering.
Okay, I like pondering.
If Google were forced to sell either Chrome or Android,
Okay.
which would you choose to keep and why?
Oh, it's a tough one.
It is.
I'm so used to both of them.
Yeah,
It's hard to imagine life without either.
right.
I use Chrome for pretty much everything on my computer,
Yeah.
but Android is the operating system on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I rely heavily on all those Google apps.
Yeah, it really makes you realize how deeply embedded these tech giants are in our lives.
It does.
Like, it's almost like choosing between a right arm and a left arm.
It is, and it really highlights the influence
Yeah.
that these companies have over our digital experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
But maybe that's part of what this case is trying to address.
Okay.
Giving users more control and agency in a world where a handful of companies hold so much power.
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
We've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
Yeah, we have.
The specifics of the government's case, the implications for the future of search. Yeah.
AI.
Big stuff.
It's clear that this case is about way more than just one company.
Absolutely. It's about the very structure of the internet.
Wow.
Who gets to control it?
Yeah.
How that impacts all of us as users.
All of us.
We're talking about fundamental questions of innovation, competition,
Yeah.
even democracy in the digital age.
And what's really resonating with me
Yeah.
is this idea that we're not just passive bystanders in all of this.
Right.
We have a role to play
We do.
in shaping the future of the internet.
Absolutely. That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
It's easy to feel overwhelmed or powerless when
Right.
you think about the size and influence of these tech giants.
They're huge.
But we have more power than we realize.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
Right.
What can we do as
Yes.
individuals
Yeah.
to make a difference in this, like, seemingly complex and daunting landscape?
Well, first and foremost,
Yeah.
we can stay informed.
Stay informed.
Cases like this can be dense and technical, but it's important to understand the issues at stake
Right.
and engage in thoughtful conversations about the kind of internet we want.
The kind of internet we want.
It starts with awareness.
That's what we do here
There you go.
on the deep dive.
Yeah.
We want to give you the information and insights you need to form your own opinions
Yeah.
and participate in this really crucial debate.
Exactly. And beyond just staying informed,
Yeah.
we can support organizations that are fighting for a more open and equitable internet.
Okay.
There are lots of groups advocating for digital rights,
Uh-huh.
data privacy, responsible AI development,
Gotcha.
all that.
And let's not underestimate the power of our choices as consumers.
Right. Our wallets speak.
Yeah.
Supporting businesses that align with our values sends a message
It does.
to these big companies.
So every click, every purchase,
Yeah,
every download is a vote.
exactly.
We can use that power to shape the market
Yeah.
and incentivize companies to act ethically
Hmm.
and responsibly.
It's empowering to realize we have agency in this digital world,
It is empowering.
even if it doesn't always feel that way.
It really is.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember
Yeah.
that these companies were built by people.
By people?
They're governed by laws.
Yeah.
They're ultimately accountable to us, the users.
That's a great perspective.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that we're not powerless in the face of these technological behemoths.
We're not.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, shoot.
If you could wave a magic wand and change one thing about the internet, what would it be?
That's a big question.
It is.
I like it.
What steps, however small, can you take today
Yeah.
to start making that change a reality?
Ooh, I love it.
It's been a fascinating journey exploring this topic with you.
I've enjoyed it.
And to all of you listening, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
Stay curious, stay engaged,
Stay informed.
and let's keep shaping the internet together.
I'm all for it.